is not everything, but without it, everything is nothing. Welcome to our show, Kitchen Treasures. And for the past episodes, we were telling you that you really need to keep treasures in your kitchen. It's so easy. Just prepare your food, your market list rather, and then make sure that there are lots of vegetables and fruits and grains and beans and seeds in your kitchen, and that can actually be the best treasure. Last time we also discussed about water, and water is one of your treasures. But we cannot complete all this if you miss one very important treasure, and I call that treasure breakfast. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But you know, people tend to forget to prepare the best breakfast. That's the first meal that we should really, give more attention. Our show is pertaining to the title, Jumpstart Your Day with Breakfast. Okay, many people are so tired during nighttime and they don't have time to prepare their breakfast. They don't even plan for their meal the next day. So the tendency is they will only get a piece of maybe a bread or a not so high fiber cereal, and that can be their breakfast. But today we would like to invite all of you to invest on this meal. Breakfast, the most important meal of the day. Now, the question right now is, why is breakfast neglected by many people? Because people thought that it is not so important, right? And many many homemakers right now are saying they don't have time. No, they don't have time in preparation. They're so busy. Many of them are really working moms, and because they don't have time, they cannot give good breakfast. But sometimes people would say, I don't feel hungry in the morning. Maybe that is one of the reasons why they miss the most important meal. Now, some people would say, I want to lose weight, so I don't need breakfast. I want really losing weight. So here are some of the reasons why people really miss breakfast. And of course, many are just ignorant. No, they don't realize that this is really so important. That's the reason why breakfast is not their priority. Now, I'd like to take this meal similar to how important your gasoline to your car. You cannot leave your homes if using your car obviously without gasoline, right? So you have to store good amount of gasoline in your car before you leave the place. Same is true with breakfast. You cannot just miss the day, working too hard, particularly early part of the morning, without any gasoline. And food actually acts as, it is definitely the gasoline, the energy of your body. Now, according to research, if you have good breakfast, you are less irritable and you are really very much productive. You are very efficient in your work. Depression is so low when you have good energy early part of the day. And to kids, it is so obvious that kids are really, they have good scores if you serve them with good breakfast. So moms, we are really responsible for our kids' diet, and I personally believe you really need to listen, to watch to our show today, because you will be able to have good knowledge on how to prepare breakfast. Good scores, good school performance can actually assure your kids with that little effort of preparing breakfast for the meal, for your kids, for your family. Not only is good scores for your kids. According to study, a good breakfast can give you protection from diseases, particularly chronic diseases. Okay, let's try to see these chronic diseases. These are what? These are heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and even so many inflammatory diseases. So breakfast can actually reduce the risk, can lower down your family's risk when it comes to these chronic diseases. Not only chronic diseases, I personally believe even the simple diseases that we have right now, the acute diseases like infection and all this inflammation, name it. Maybe it can be tonsillitis, it can be UTI, urinary tract infection, it can even be flu to some of you. But eating good amount of food in the morning can actually protect you from this simple sickness. Okay, let's try to see. According to study of Dr. Breslow and Dr. Belloc, this was done many years back. Breakfast is part of the secrets of longevity. Those people who live longer, like those people who can live 100 years old, they call themselves centenarians. Oh, many of them, almost all of them are really eating good amount of breakfast. They are really breakfast eaters. So that's the reason why they have achieved, this 90 years old, 100, 107 years old, 100 years old. Not just reaching 100 years old, they reach 100 years old still healthy and they can still work. And you can visit the people, particularly in Alameda, California. This was the start of this study when it comes to breakfast as part of the secrets of longevity. And again, the study was so beautiful. Those of you who are doing researches, you go to Alameda, California, study of Dr. Breslow and Dr. Belloc, you can see that these people, around 7,000 people, it's more than 10-year study, and they discovered that they are really efficient by just eating good amount of breakfast. But again, it's not only breakfast. You have to consider that it's not just breakfast. Okay, they have to follow, and they followed the rest of the lifestyle practices. Okay, now, what is actually a very healthy breakfast? Now, when I say healthy breakfast, it can give you at least 1/3 or even more than that, or sometimes 1/2 of your daily requirement. When I say daily requirement, if you need 1,500 calories per day, your breakfast should really exceed to 500, okay? Like it can be 600 or 700 calories just for the breakfast. Okay, so that is actually a very good breakfast. Now, maybe some of you would say, how can we really estimate the calorie? And in our next episodes, we will be discussing that. We'll be showing you the, how to estimate your food and how to really know that it is really, appropriate and it is complete with all these nutrients. Now, if you want to follow the old saying, and the old saying is so simple and so clear, and I can say that we all need to follow this. This is eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and maybe dinner, supper like a pauper. And when you say pauper, they have lesser food, right? But I am excusing the pauper in the Philippines because, the pauper still eat plenty of rice with little of this. The pauper has only little. They have only little food. The prince, the rich people, they have plenteous, they have abundance, and they eat good amount of food. So we would like to practice the good amount of food in the morning, and then finally, at dinner, you can have little, just little. Actually, the best style is this. You prepare your breakfast, plenty of food in the morning, and the leftover is dinner. Yeah, we can do that. Only the leftover is dinner. If there is like food that can be recycled, yeah, you can eat that for dinner, and that is so practical. Now, what is an example of a good breakfast? A good breakfast should really be low in sugar, okay, because we don't want large amount of sugar. If you will be eating so simple sugar, like for example, you have only, donut or sugary bread, or you can have very sugary beverage, and you take this, it's not so good because blood sugar will really shoot up. Now, as seen in the slide here, the example here is just juice and maybe a piece of donut. You know, blood sugar would really go up high. And then later on, after 1 hour, it will go down. We don't want that to happen to the body. The body is very much in trouble when blood sugar is experiencing hyper, and then after an hour, it will go down immediately. We call it hypoglycemia. The body doesn't want that experience. You're putting your body into, a stressful situation. What we would like is a breakfast that is really low in sugar. When I say low in sugar, this obviously can be complex carbohydrates, or this can actually be complex food. Like, for example, I have here a good breakfast. Actually, this was our breakfast this morning. And I'd like to thank the Hcbn handsome crew and beautiful crew preparing this breakfast. This was our breakfast this morning. This is actually so simple. Look, unpolished rice. And then we have here beans. Okay, you can actually plan for it. Okay, you can plan for it, the beans. And definitely, we have to add beautiful, delicious papaya. Okay. Papaya is number 1 when it comes to nutritional value. So here comes a meal when you have this. By the way, we had also this breakfast, the native banana. But unfortunately, the Hcbn crew consumed everything. You know, they ate everything. No more for the sample in our show. And they ate the banana, native banana. So if you have your 2 pieces native banana here, and you have your papaya, and then you have beans here, and maybe you can have your rice. Now look at the food. If you're looking at this food, don't be afraid. This one has low calorie. You know, the rice is so small, not so big. It's actually 1 cup of rice. But it looks like small because I compact it so that it will not scatter. No? And then you have the beans. The beans actually is really good when it comes to prevention of diseases. Now computing, if you will be computing the calorie content of this, is already half of your requirements, of your day's requirement. Now, some of you would say, so is it really, really delicious? Some of you would maybe asking me, to prove that this one is really delicious, look at our kitchen right now. You could hardly see a single piece of this because the staff, the Hcbn ate everything. You know, we have prepared big amount of this recipe, but you know what? Look at the serving platter. It's gone. So it means that it's really delicious. Now, you can also improve the taste if you like. You can have a wide modifications. Okay, this is just plain beans. To make our plan successful, we need to prepare the beans ahead of time. Don't cook your beans early in the morning, especially those of you who are working moms. Don't do that. Okay, you will really be depressed because especially if you don't have pressure cooker, it's hard to soften your beans. So all you have to do is prepare this ahead of time. Maybe you can store it in your ref. Okay, cooked already or seasoned already, and then in the morning you can just reheat it. Okay, so that's one of the best strategies that we could do. Now the beans here, this is just white and plain. But sometimes you can also enhance this with, you can make this really so delicious. Maybe you can put Italian sauce. Wow, huh? And then Italian sauce, you also put basil. Huh, sarap. And then you can also put some of the herbs here. And when you do that, wow, that is really delicious. And you can put little sesame oil. That's perfect. So here comes a very simple breakfast, but you can still improve this one. Okay? So you have your carbohydrate-rich food, you have your protein-rich food, and you have your fruit, your vitamins and mineral-rich food. Now, I would rather suggest that when you prepare breakfast, do not prepare vegetables that are hard to prepare. What I mean by vegetables that are hard to prepare, don't cook laing. You know, the Filipinos are fond of cooking laing. Do not serve laing in the morning. It's hard. You have to squeeze the coconut milk, and you have to slice all these vegetables. You just have to prepare so simple dish so that you can really be successful. Okay? This one is so simple. So this morning, I think the cook in charge just boil the rice and cook the rice because we have already prepared this yesterday. Huh? We prepared the beans yesterday in its advance. And you can still sleep good. You don't need to wake up 2 o'clock in the morning just for breakfast. That's not a good thing because you're missing good night's sleep. Sleep is still part of the healthy lifestyle, okay? Breakfast is important, sleep also is important. So all you have to do is prepare everything before you sleep and be practical. Easy to cook foods should be really be planned so that you can have a successful meal. Now look, sometimes you have this, right? But you can also substitute other fruits. So instead of papaya, you remove the papaya and then put maybe melon, cantaloupe maybe, or you can put, you can, by the way, those of you you kept on asking us, can we eat sour fruits in the morning? Yes, definitely, yes, you can eat sour fruits in the morning. It's not actually acidic. It is actually alkaline and you are safe. It doesn't hurt you. So you can have substitution if you like. Now, if you eat this kind of breakfast, you will experience that blood sugar will go up. It will go up gradually, and it will still constantly go up, but it will not even go higher than hyperglycemia. It will just maintain the required blood sugar of your body. Because the secret here is actually fiber. The fiber content can actually control and manage good the blood sugar level of the body. And the insulin has, has easier time when it comes to doing its job. Because the fiber is there, okay? Because you have eaten a complex food. Now, if you will be eating the usual Filipino style, the Filipino breakfast is what? Yeah, I heard it good, huh? It's pandesal and coffee. That's not good. The pandesal and coffee are really low in fiber. And it's not only low in fiber, it's high in caffeine content. And it's not only that, it's void of many nutrients. And those of you here listening to us, watching us, and eating coffee and pandesal only in the morning, we advise that you stop that habit. Rather, you shift to this kind of meal, okay? Because when you have this kind of meal, you can actually easily control so many things. Okay, particularly those of you who are diabetic, coffee and pandesal can actually give you erratic blood sugar. Blood sugar can go up that quick. And in few minutes, it is maybe hyperglycemia. And then after 1 hour, it's already on the peak. But you know what? After an hour, it will go down and you will be experiencing hypoglycemia. That's the reason why those of you who are diabetic, you keep on eating nuts, a very good breakfast, pandesal and coffee only. At 9 o'clock, you'll be hungry again. I'm with the Hcbn crew right now. All of them are looking at me and they are still strong because we have eaten a very good breakfast. Yeah, we can still do another taping today because of this secret is this one. Okay? And they're not hungry yet, huh? Are you hungry, you crew? Are you not hungry?
No.
Yeah, so they're not hungry yet. So we can still have another one today. So here comes the secret, the power, the energy that we have actually is in the food. Okay? So those of you who are missing breakfast, you're missing the energy. Okay? So I'm so happy to tell you that blood sugar is controlled when you add this fiber, but you have to plan it good, okay? Before going to bed, as a review, those of you might even, get your pen and paper and write the tips. To be successful in preparing breakfast, you have to plan ahead of time. Number 2, you have to make your food so simple, but you have to remember the basic food groups. And the basic food groups is carbohydrate-rich food and protein and your vitamins and minerals. You can even set aside the vegetable or reserve the vegetable at lunchtime. Okay? So that's the best advice. Don't put everything in breakfast. Yeah, breakfast is so important, but do not put all the dishes in breakfast. Maybe 1 or 2 or 3 items or 4 items. This setting is good enough for your ideal breakfast. Okay? When I wrote the book Cooking Smart, I'm so excited because it's so easy to plan. And you too can also plan for it. And I personally believe it's a matter of planning, but planning is nothing if you don't start today, okay? So start tonight and plan for your food the next day. Those of you who have kids, you have to consider the food preferences of your children. And when you do that, you will be able to feed the children before they go to school. And I believe that your simple preparation can really be the best. Okay, of course, you really need to pray hard so that the Lord will really give you more wisdom and knowledge, more ideas. The ideas are so important because without these ideas, we cannot make good presentation. So pray hard. Before you go and plan, you whisper a prayer. Before you go to the grocery or to the local market, you pray hard. Lord, help me to look to find healthy vegetables. Help me to find unique and good tasting fruits, sweet fruits. And I personally believe you will have your goal. Okay? So again, our show is too short for this topic. And I hope that we can give you more information next time. You know, good food is not everything. But without it, everything is nothing when it comes to health. So, consider this. Again, thank you very much for watching us in our Kitchen Treasures. God bless us all. Thank you.